Well, today I thought I would talk a little bit about circles and why circles are so important. Um, we've all heard of the term circle of life, and well, the earth rotates circular around the sun, and all the planets and everything seems to follow some sort of pattern that represents circles within circles. Now, I sort of got the idea from another person years ago that if we live as a circle, our lives become more balanced and harmonious with the rest of the galaxy and nature and stuff like that. The Sufi mystics believe that the circle is sacred, and so does the Native American, and actually a lot of ancient cultures lived in circular communities, and the Sufi mystics believe that they still do believe that all of creation is in a sacred sensual dance around the Creator, and that when we step out of that dance, we immediately experience disconnect, disharmony, dis-ease, discomfort, and we often will reach for something to alleviate our discomfort. Unfortunately, it's my opinion that it's the basis of most substance abuse and other addictions, is we're trying to alleviate and ease that discomfort instead of stepping back into the dance, back into the circle. And so a friend of mine many years ago told me that they always come home a different direction than what they left to complete the circle or circuit. Electricity, alternating current, AC, travels in a circle. A light bulb in your house has to go back to source before that light bulb will come on, and that happens very quickly. And so that's how energy works too in the universe, is what I've learned, is that it has to complete the circuit. And so I learned to start living in circles, making circles in my life, and to create balance and harmony. And I live by it. I believe in it. It's greatly improved, my grounding and centeredness, with all things. I'm not so easily disturbed by situations or events, and that's that's peace of mind. That's peace in your heart. The Bible says that love is a peaceful heart, a patient and peaceful heart, and because when you're all in angst and twisted up, it's really hard to express compassion for others and for ourselves. So it made me start thinking, like, well, why do we live in cubes? Why do we live in boxes and right angles and all the time? And our math is so much based upon the cube and the square and the right angle. And then I read this story about Hermes. Some of you may have heard of Hermes. He was an ancient philosopher. But once when he was astro traveling, he got the Watchers caught him in a restricted boundary of the universe, and they chased him. And if they catch you, now this is the way the story goes. I'm not saying that it's true or not. This is just his story. And if they catch you, that they will hold you till the end of time. So I thought that was really interesting, that he could only escape them by making circles. He kept making circles because they couldn't make circles. They could only make right angles and straight lines, and that's how he escaped the Watchers, or the gatekeepers, or whatever. They're called different things in different philosophies and theologies. So you know, I look at my world, our world that we live in, and most of it's based upon ragged angles and straight lines. And when you go into a square building, you have to make right angles to navigate through the halls and into rooms and out of rooms and everything. So we're always making all these just right angles, sharp curves, or sharp 90-degree changes in direction. And then it occurred to me that cancels out the sacred circle. So it takes us out of sacred unity, the sacred circle, and keeps us trapped in a linear cube square pattern of life, which is contrary to natural living, which is very harmful to us. Back in the 60s, the hippies, they had this saying, don't be a square, man, don't be a square. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of their lingo come from Zen philosophy. And Mishisama came over in the 60s and brought the art of Sengetsu and the art of Jorei, to the West Coast from Japan. And so a lot of those things that they were saying, and he taught a lot of the college students these arts, and so a lot of the things come from a philosophy, of the circle, and flower power. That's the art of Sengetsu. That comes from the art of Sengetsu. It's an ancient Buddhist art of creating flower arrangements based upon the sun, the moon, and the earth. And you have to actually, in order to become a Buddhist monk, or actually even in the Jorei Fellowship of Divine Light, you have to learn the art of Sengetsu. It's a very ancient culture, and back during the Shintoism era, the Buddhist monks were tasked of protecting the emperor with their Sengetsu flower arrangements, and that was their job, during the Sengetsu era. So, it actually, that comes from a very ancient tradition of flowers are a very high vibrational life form, and evil spirits, it's said in ancient times, cannot stand the vibration of the flower. It burns them. It harms them. They just can't tolerate that high vibration because they're such a lower vibration. It's too intense for them. And so the custom of bringing flowers to sick people, because back in ancient times it was believed that all illnesses were caused by demons or some foul spirit, and so bringing sick people flowers, and we do this today in hospitals. We bring them flowers, we'll chase that evil spirit away that's causing the illness. We also put flowers on people's graves, and that also comes from traditions to protect our ancestors, from harm in the other realm, in the spirit realm. So, we do these things, and we really don't understand the meaning behind them because we've never really researched it or explored it, and so they just become customs and traditions that we follow. So back to the circle is all of life moves in a circular pattern. That is the creation movement of creation, and to distort it or manipulate it, that energy becomes malformed, and that malformed energy manifests itself in very unnatural and disturbing ways, sometimes in our behavior, sometimes within our society and our communities. And so my hope is someday we'll, as a species, return to the circle, the sacred circle of life and creation. And it really is a dance. Creation is a dance, and it's a sensual dance. And a lot of people have a hard time with that because we, in our society, tend to equate those things to sexuality. And we really have to see that life is experienced through our senses. We have these senses: the sight, smell, hearing, taste, touch. This enables us to have this intimate experience with nature and with life and with others. And we've gotten disconnected from that, and like I said, those things will become malformed if they're taken out of their natural state. And we're caught up in an idea that we control behavior with a whip and punishment. And the fact is, you just really got to get back to the circle. You just got to get back to the circle, and you will naturally correct your behavior. It'll correct you naturally. But as long as we're forced into, an existence of irregular shapes and right angles and squares and stuff, the sacred circle is continuous, and our unity, our sacred unity with one another, is continually canceled out, and we lose our connection to each other. And so that's my message today, is that just think about circles, the sacred circle. Live as a circle. If you go in one way, come out the other, and just complete the circuit, and that's what I try to do. Is I always just try to move in circular motion, and it doesn't always 100% always work out that way, but if I have an opportunity to make the circle and complete the circuit, I do that. And I promise you, if you try this for at least a month, you will see that your life will become much more balanced and peaceful, and you will be more in tune to nature and other people, and the cosmos. And that's the whole point, is that we are from the cosmos. It's our home. But we get so caught up in trying to play these roles down here, we forget who we are. And that's all I hope to do by making these videos, is to reconnect people with what they are, remind them of their song, and that's all humanity is a sacred song that we forgot to sing, and a love story. I'd like to believe it's a love story, and we forgot how to tell our own story, and the dream has become the nightmare for many, and my only hope is to wake them up to the dream again. So that's the whole purpose of these videos. And if you got anything out of that, well, then I feel I haven't wasted my time, So have a blessed day. Thanks.